Hello everyone, welcome back to Awards Buzz's coverage of CinemaCon 2025. I'm Scott Menzel, and I am going to be breaking down the coverage from the Lionsgate panel that happened on day 2 of CinemaCon. So, unlike in previous years, Lionsgate got an upgrade. They are usually on the last day of CinemaCon, but this year they were on day 2. And they had one hell of a presentation with a lot of star power, and I was very surprised by how good their presentation was this morning. So to go into it, let's start off with what everyone knew was coming, which is John Wick. We all know that Lionsgate is really into the John Wick universe. It's been a very successful franchise for the studio. So it should be no surprise that they opened up the presentation with Ballerina. And Ana de Armas came out and did a little bit of a presentation, talked a little bit to the crowd. They showed a extended sneak peek of the movie. I'm excited for this movie, but I put this out in my tweet from earlier today. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about this movie because I feel like it's supposed to be a spin-off movie, but the footage keeps referencing Keanu Reeves and it keeps showing Keanu Reeves, and I'm like, okay, we already have John Wick movies. I get that you kind of have to have him in the movie, but I'm a little concerned how much will he be in the film and how much of the movie is dependent on this character. So that's my only concern. In terms of the action and the footage, it looked awesome. I mean, let's just be honest. There's a lot of badassery in the footage shown today, and the stunt work, which is what John Wick is known for, just superb. It's just superb, and it looks fun. It looks like it's going to be fun. And I'm very curious, as I said, to see just how much Keanu Reeves is in the film. I'm hoping not too much, and I'm hoping that they let Ana de Armas pretty much take the helm and do most of the heavy lifting in this film. With that, there was an announcement, surprise again to nobody, that there is officially a John Wick 5. I mean, the fourth one, you would think it came to a close, but obviously it made so much money, and they're like, we got to keep this going. I don't know how I feel about this, but I totally understand. Lionsgate has a hot franchise. They want to keep it going, so, more power to them. There's also an animated John Wick prequel movie coming out, and then Donnie Yen, who was in, obviously, John Wick Chapter 4, will also be getting a spin-off movie. So the world building in John Wick is definitely a big part of Lionsgate's future, and they obviously seem very excited about it. And regardless of how I feel, the crowd seemed to really eat this announcement up. So more power to them. We'll have our fingers crossed here. Hopefully it'll be good. Now we switch over to Francis Lawrence, who, of course, has been best known for directing the Hunger Games films, the other franchise in Lionsgate's canon, where they are able to keep making these movies, and they have been very, very successful. And we just know that the brand new book just came out. I think it's only been about a week ago. Sunrise on the Reaping. And apparently this movie has been in talks for over a year now, and it was very, very hush-hush. But they announced that there is going to be another big screen adaptation, and that Francis will be directing. The one thing that I will say is that he also directed, because the film looks like it's almost completed, The Long Walk, which is based on a Stephen King novel. And I have to say, this trailer was very chilling and again, very welcome departure for Francis Lawrence from The Hunger Games. And I'm very intrigued by this movie. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Trailer really kind of gave me chills. It looks very violent, but really an interesting, unique concept. So I'm excited about that. Our good buddy Luca, fresh off of Challengers and that movie that I totally forgot the title of, that was an awards season movie this year with Daniel Craig with the drugs. I can't remember the name because the movie was terrible. Oh, Queer. He is now officially doing the American Psycho reboot. Now, I'm sure people are like, oh, Luca, we love him. I like the director. I think he has a very unique vision. I love American Psycho. I mean, Patrick Bateman, and it's Christian Bale as Patrick Bateman. I mean, it's gonna be a hard role to top, and I'm just not too sure how I feel about this remake of this. And I get what I know people are probably going to be screaming, oh, it's Luca, you gotta trust him. I don't know. This is like one of those rare movies that I stumbled upon and I became such a fan of. And I mean, it's so iconic. Like, it's just such an iconic movie that I don't know. I don't think it needs to be remade, but who am I to say? Then we have Good Fortune, which is the Aziz Ansari movie, which they showed this exact same trailer, I'm almost positive, last year at CinemaCon. And Seth Rogen is in it, and Keanu Reeves is like some kind of guardian angel. It looks fun. Again, I'm a little concerned because we didn't really get much of an update about this movie, and I'm like 95% certain that trailer was exactly the same as the one I saw last year at CinemaCon. Then we have John Carney's latest film, which is called Power Ballad. Now, if you follow me, if you know anything about me, I'm a big musical guy. And John Carney is obviously a man who makes amazing musical movies. Sing Street, Once. I love this guy. I really do. Even Flora and the Sun, I didn't like that one as much as the previous movies that I just mentioned, but I liked it. This one looks a little too commercial for me. I'm just gonna put that out there. It's with Nick Jonas and Paul Rudd. It kind of dives into this whole idea that one of the characters steals the music or the beat to one of the songs, and I don't know. It just feels a little too commercial for me, and I'm gonna see it. I know the soundtrack's gonna be amazing. I don't have any doubts about that, but there's just something about it. When I was watching this, I was like, this is missing the indie feel of the John Carney movies. There's something this homemade feel that I know it's Lionsgate. It's not like it's going to have a massive budget or anything, but it just, Paul Rudd being in it, I think that's what it is. It's Paul Rudd being in it. And I just like it when it's more of kind of the unknown. He also did the one with Mark Ruffalo and Keira Knightley, which out of the three, the original three, that was my least favorite one because, again, I felt it was a little bit more commercial. I really loved the discovery of fresh voices and fresh faces. So, Nick Jonas and Paul Rudd being in it, yeah, I like both of these people, but I don't typically want to see them in a John Carney movie. But again, just me, my opinion. Let's see what else. Oh, Now You See Me, Now You Don't, which is the official title of Now You See Me 3. So Ruben Fletcher is directing this. I love Zombieland. I like Zombieland 2. And everything else that Ruben has done, not that great. So when they made the announcement that he was directing this, I was a little not too sure. Especially when you consider the second one was directed by John M. Chu, and who has gone on to do a lot of big movies like Crazy Rich Asians and, of course, Wicked. And I don't know. I love this franchise so much. It's a very I can't believe that they're doing a third and a fourth installment of this. To be honest, it feels like it's so long ago that these movies existed, and these actors who are in them, especially like Jesse Eisenberg, has such a different career path right now. But I'm glad he's back for it. The movie looks fun. I gotta be honest. I'm just, these movies are my jam. Like I love the first two movies. I know people have a lot of criticisms about them. They're just fun adventure movies about magic, and there's not a lot out there that is like this, which I think is one of the reasons why I connect with this so much, is that this franchise just feels unique and it doesn't feel like something else. So I'm excited. I'm a little cautious because Ruben, again, like I'm not saying he's the worst choice, but I'm just saying his some of his movies have been questionable. You know, Venom, Gangster Squad, like not exactly the best ones. There was something else that came out more recently that was a total misfire, and I can't remember what the heck it was. But yeah, I mean, the good news is that Lionsgate feels so thrilled. Like they saw the rough cut of this movie and they were like, hey, this is great. We're going to bring it back for part 4. So I guess that's a good sign. I mean, I wouldn't think that they would bet the money on hiring him again if they weren't happy with the results, or unless they kept the budget lower. I don't know politics of this, but I'm excited about it. Anyway, then I have to go on to, I'm looking at my notes behind there, The Housemaid, which is directed by Paul Feig, and it is a novel that became very popular because of TikTok, and it stars Amanda Seyfried and Sydney Sweeney. So, needless to say, Paul Feig, Sydney Sweeney, and Amanda Seyfried sold. I didn't even know anything about this movie. They showed this trailer, though, and I have to say that it was my favorite trailer out of everything that they showed today. Just, again, it's kind of like the Now You See Me. It's like, we don't get a lot of movies like this nowadays. I know that adapting novels into big screen adaptations is a thing that has been happening in Hollywood for decades, but it's kind of like a mystery thriller, and I don't feel like we get that many of them. And I kind of love about the trailer, because I have not read the book, I kind of love that I don't really know what's going on. Is like Amanda Seyfried the crazy one? Is Sydney Sweeney the crazy one? Like, what's going to happen in this movie? There's enough intrigue there that like I'm just kind of like hooked, and it looks like very stylish, which we all know that Paul Feig can do, because if you've seen Simple Favor or Another Simple Favor, despite how you feel about the movies, he has a lot of style. He's a very stylistic director, and the movie looks pretty awesome, and I can't wait to see it. And it's the one that got me the most excited. And then to close out the panel, there was a Trey Edgar? No, my God, am I butchering his name? Yes, what is it? Edward. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Trey Edward Schultz movie, who, if you know me, I love Waves. He directed Waves. One of the best things about Waves is how it's shot and the way it looks, and how the movie kind of goes in all these different like cinematic forms. And it's a brilliant film. If you haven't seen Waves, strongly recommend it. Calvin Harrison Jr., Taylor Russell, one of the most underrated films. I believe it was either 2018 or 2019, but whatever year it was, one of the most underrated films of the year, and just gorgeous direction. And this one is with Jenna Ortega, who we all know is in a very big, like she's on a hot streak right now. Looks very interesting. I don't know how much of a commercial success this movie will be, but it does look interesting. It does look like it's shot beautifully, and I'm sold on it. I'm going to go check it out. The ending of the Lionsgate panel was pretty epic, because whether you like The Weeknd or not, to have a studio bring out a musician who is so popular nowadays and have them perform in a massive auditorium is pretty badass, right? I mean, we've seen him at the Super Bowl, what was it, 2-3 years ago? And to see him kind of play for theater owners was really an awesome experience. And he was so into it, and everyone in the crowd was into it. So it was a great way. And I just want to reiterate that I've been coming to CinemaCon for many years. I don't even know how many, but I've been coming for many, many years. And Lionsgate normally does not have the strongest panel. I think it's like historical that most people say that Lionsgate is one of the weaker panels. And I will say this right now, and I will be doing the video next, that they had a better panel than Warner Brothers this year. And that's shocking to say, but it's the truth. So let me know what you think of this video. Let me know which movies at CinemaCon you're excited about, which movies from Lionsgate are you most looking forward to, and I'll be back very, very shortly with a recap of the Warner Brothers panel from CinemaCon Day 2. Talk to you soon. Bye.